All right, so in front of you, you have a revised sheet or assessment. Since last time I didn't have a right and left side for the body part near the foam rolling, I added that right and left side. So this is a little bit different from your sheet from last time. So if you need to transfer information from your last sheet to this sheet, you can do that. Okay? We're not going to spend a lot of time on foam rolling today because we need to talk more about stretching, motor control, and we need to talk about dynamic movement. And so we're going to perform those three things today. At about 11:15, in about 7 minutes, we'll basically begin our stretching for about 10 to 20 minutes. Then we'll have motor control for 10 to 20 minutes. And then we'll have our dynamic warm-up for 10 to 20 minutes. So it should be about an hour long. Please do not perform anything that causes you any pain. Please do not perform anything that you think may cause pain or you don't think you're ready for, okay? So please make sure that you're trying to listen and you're trying to pay attention to the cues. Raise your hand if you can hear me. Okay? All right, so if you don't have a foam roller, another tool that you can use for self-myofascial release is the tennis ball. And for a couple minutes, we can explore using a tennis ball today. So the first thing I might do is start at the lower limbs, go to my calf, put the ball underneath. I can go side to side over that gastrocnemius and soleus, or I can go up and down. But I'm really looking for a little bit of a pressure spot, and then once I find a little bit of a pressure spot, I might hold that area and breathe into that spot. Okay? So sometimes that's me picking my butt up off the ground to find that pressure, or sometimes that's me leaving my butt on the ground to take the pressure off. I can go on the side, the perennial muscles, a little bit of the fibularis anterior, or more gastroc and soleus. Go ahead and switch. You can use a lacrosse ball. You can, if your pants are slipping, what I might do is I might just go right to the skin. Okay, and I like to get the sides. For me, because I broke my fibula, so that muscle on that right outer side is a little bit tighter, so I can always feel it a little bit more. Okay? Hamstring, you might not feel it on the ground. You might just feel like, you know, it's not getting that much pressure. But that's why you can adapt and use something like a box. And this is going to give you a little bit more pressure up here. So you might not find that pressure while you're on the ground, but I just want you to know that you can find that pressure while you're seated. For your hips, now it might slip out, but you can find your piriformis, glute med, glute max area, and just try to find one spot that feels a little tender. You can hold that spot. I probably wouldn't roll too much with this. I would probably just, this is more for kind of specific areas. Go ahead and try the other side. And then I'm kind of leaning into that side. I have my opposite butt off the ground. And I can go in little tiny circles, or I can just look for just little areas of tense tissue. Okay? I'm not going to get my lower back with this. It's probably too small. You can get your post lats and shoulders. So I might go to my side here, and I might put this near my armpit area, or I can go on my back and try to go toward my upper back, okay, and look for an area in my shoulder blade, okay. Now it's going to be a little bit tougher with the tennis ball. but those are some areas that you can look for. You can also move to the adductors or quads. Okay, so I can get the adductors or quads using that ball just like that, finding an area of tension. Okay? You can also get more quad by going like this, finding an area of tension, and then holding. Okay, so just kind of work for another 30 seconds on any area that you'd like. Okay?
And we're here, by the way.
All right, just let me know your name real quick.
Zoe Willis.
Zoe? Okay. Zoe and Claire?
Yeah. Should I get another one for her?
What's the name?
Sophia.
All right.
Thank you.
Make sure you stay after class. Let me know I got your name, okay? So go ahead and put your ball on the cone in front of you so it doesn't roll away. All right. So let's move into some stretching. Let's go ahead and turn to the stretching page. These sheets are for you and for your own self-assessment. Again, you can rate your tissue quality 1 to 3. 1 is on the not so good end. 3 is on the good end. Okay, so if it's really tight, slightly painful, that's a 1. That means we need to look into that area a little bit more. A normal stretch feeling is a 2. And if you don't really feel a stretch, or you feel over flexible, you're at that 3, okay? If it feels normal, 2. If it hurts or super tight, it's a 1. If you feel really loose and you feel like you have a lot of good range and control and you don't really feel that much, that's a 3. So let's go ahead and see if you can get into 90-90. Show me 90-90. So we have Maddie here at 90-90. Arms are out like a kickstand. Okay? So this front leg, let's go ahead and let me see your right leg facing me. And make sure that leg is parallel to the front of that mat. So that tibia is on the front of the mat. My foot is on the edge of the mat. My back knee and back foot are on that mat. So this foot, knee, and foot here are all on that same line. My knee is making a 90 degree. My back knee is making a 90 degree. And my hips are making a 90 degree. So if we're like this, that's not 90. So we're looking for those 90 degree angles. From here, our static stretch is moving forward. Arms are out. And feeling that in your front right glute med and glute max. Taking an inhale for about 3 to 4 seconds. Try not to go like this. Try to keep your head straight and try to keep your back straight. And we're just hinging. We're not rounding. We're hinging forward. Hold. Inhale for 3 to 4 seconds. Exhale forcefully out the mouth for 6 to 8 seconds. So inhale, 360 expansion. Exhale, long, fast, and deep. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Fill 360. And hard, long exhale. I want you to feel your abs on your exhale. Really blow out the air like you're blowing up a balloon. Let's go ahead and turn this into an active stretch. We're going to push into the ground to create a little irradiation. And then we're going to try to lift up the front leg and hold for 5 seconds. Not yet. Hold on. Try to go with the breathing. We're going to take an inhale, hold, and then we're going to lift our leg up. Here we go. So push into the ground. Take an inhale. Lift up, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let down. This time, option to hold, option 2, knee hinge, and then back, okay? I'm going to go with a knee hinge. If you want to just hold, that's fine. Here we go. Inhale, hold, up, try to straighten, back, and down. Okay? Now, you don't have to rotate like I did, but I just want you to turn toward your back leg. So now we're going to try to feel it in that back hip. Breathe and hold here. You should feel it in hip extension, hip internal rotation here. Good. Okay, so we don't want our knees we want to try to pry our legs apart like a wishbone. Okay? From here, inhale for 3 to 4, exhale for 6 to 8. Okay, let's turn this into an active stretch. We're going to go back to that position that we first started with. We're going to bring the back leg off the ground for 5 seconds this time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, up, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Good job. Let's go ahead and rotate to the other side. Good. So we should all be facing this way. Hopefully. Left leg's out front. Focus on that static stretch. Hold here. Inhale for 3 to 4. Exhale 6 to 8. Try not to curve your back, Anthony. I want to see that back straight. Yep. You're our leader up there. You got to show us. We're watching you. Keep going. Inhale. Long exhale. Really feel it in your core on your exhale. Good job. Okay, let's get that front leg up this time. Push into the ground. Take an inhale. Leg goes up. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Okay, now we're just going to rotate toward that back leg so we can feel it in that back hip. Hold here. Good job. 3 inhales, 3 exhales. Should feel it in the back hip flexor, internal rotators. Good job. Now let's try to see if we can turn that into active stretch. Facing forward. We're going to see if we can bring the knee and foot up off the ground for 5 seconds. Here we go. Push into the ground. Inhale. Up. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Good job. All right, go ahead and write on your sheets what hip was tighter, what hip was looser. Give you a 3, 2, 1. Super tight, it's a 1. Super loose, it's a 3. If it feels normal, it's a 2. So that top one was external rotation, the bottom one was internal rotation. So external rotation was that front leg, internal rotation was the back leg. Okay, Spider-Man. Let's go ahead and go to hands and knees. We're going to step the right foot outside of the right hand. But make sure that our foot doesn't look like this. We want that foot high. Also called lizard pose in yoga. From here, we want to move outward so that we feel it in our inner groin. And we also want to squeeze our back glute or press that back knee into the ground to create a little tension in that back hip flexor. We want that back toe pointed down. Let me get this out of the way. We want that back toe pointed down like this. And we're going to rock out. You can bring the back knee off the ground, press the left hand down and reach up. Take an inhale here, long exhale. Good, hands and knees. Go ahead and switch side. Step to the outside, tuck the back toe, rock out, and then find a stationary position. And I want you to squeeze your right glute and press that right knee into the ground so that you feel it in your right hip flexor. So squeeze your right glute. Once you squeeze that right glute, you're activating it. You're creating an isometric contraction to increase that range of motion. Then you can bring the back knee off the ground. Open up. Take one big inhale, one big exhale here. And come down. Go ahead and write down 3, 2, 1 on each side. Think about that back hip flexor for this stretch. So think about the hip flexors for this stretch. Adductor rock. If you have the pad, that's fine. We want to go, probably want to face this way. Knees are wide, point the toes. So we don't want the feet at 90 degrees. We don't want dorsiflexion. We want plantar flexion. And then from here, straight back. We're just kind of rocking forward and back here. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, we're going to abduct your left leg so that the outside of that left foot is down. If this is too much, go back to option 1. From here, look, I want a straight back. If you can't get a straight back, you might have to go back to option 1. I'm going to exhale as I rock back. Exhale as I rock back. Let's go back to option 1. Abduct the right leg. Hold here, straight back, point the back toe. Exhale on the way back. Thank you. All right, go ahead and write down what side might have been tighter or looser. 3, 2, 1s. Okay, quad T-spine rotation. As you know, I'm a big proponent of the joint-by-joint approach, which basically says you have mobility and stability at your joints. What joint that is depends, or what is it, mobility or stability? It depends on the joint. So when we look at the ankle, we want mid-arch stability, big toe mobility. When we look at the knee, we want more stability. We look at the hips, we want mobility. We look at the low spine, we want stability. Even though I know a lot of us love to twist our lower backs apart, it's designed for stabilization, not rotation. Your T-spine is built for rotation. So when we did that stretch here, that's our T-spine. Our low spine is actually not doing that much here because it's mostly in flexion. Okay? Shoulders, mobility, scapula, stability, neck, mobility, and stability. Okay? We want to have that chin tuck. We want to get away from this. But we also want to be able to rotate up and down. Okay? So for this quadruped, T-spine rotation, we're taking the lumbar spine out of the equation. So what we'll do is we'll go to hands and knees. Watch first. I'm going to sit down, child collapse, quadruped. I'll bring my elbows in front of my knees. I'm going to bring my left hand to my right rib cage. Once I get here, I'm going to look up at the ceiling. But when I do that, make sure that you're not just leaning. I want rotation like this, not like this. So I'm going to rotate up, look at the ceiling, hold, inhale. As I exhale, I'm going to try to go deeper in my rotation. So as I exhale, I'm trying to go further. And then I'm going to hold. Inhale. Exhale, go further. And we're going to try that on 3 inhales, 3 exhales on each side. So let's go ahead. Hands and knees. Knees down. Elbows in front of the knees. Left hand on the rib cage. Open up. Look toward the ceiling. Inhale. Big exhale. Get it all out. Inhale. Big exhale. Get it all out. Keep pushing the air out. Keep twisting. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and switch sides. Rotate, look up, hold. Inhale. Long exhale. Inhale. Long exhale. Inhale. Long exhale. And now when we're rotating toward the right, we're getting the left side. And we're rotating toward the left, we're getting that right side. Okay, so 3, 2, 1 for left and right side for rotation. So if you felt a little bit more restricted, rotating open to your left, then you know you have something on your right going on. Okay? So we're measuring the tightness of the right and left rotation of the spine. Okay? Another variety you can do with that is go ahead and stand up. We're going to be facing this way. You can watch me first. I can use the pad or some yoga blocks. I want a real wide stance. And then from here, one hand down. I can do that same rib roll from this position. So try that. Try one inhale and one exhale on each side. Same thing, rib roll. Try to keep your legs straight. And then after you've done one on each side, then I want you to bring your opposite arm in the air and reach up. Take one inhale, one exhale with your arm up on each side. We want those legs wide. Okay, write in any numbers you need to. Remember, if you are rotating open to your left, you're stretching your right side. If you're rotating toward your right, you're getting that left side. Okay, next one. When you're ready, downward dog. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you know this one. So hands are spread apart, angled slightly out. Just slightly. From here, hips toward the sky, feet are about hip width distance, head through the shoulders. We can pedal those knees here. So slightly active stretch, little bit of kinetic stretch here. Then go ahead and bring your knees down. What we're going to do is in downward dog, we're going to do a little bit of PNF. So what we're going to do is go ahead, let's go hands and knees to start. Let's come down to start. Just watch first. So I'm going to get into that dog. Not yet, hold on. I'm going to try to press my toes into the ground and then relax. Press my toes into the ground and then relax. So I'm creating an isometric contraction with my calves, and then I'm relaxing. It's not going to be this. I want to push into the ground and then push my toes into the ground and then relax. So go ahead and try that. Downward dog. Keep your heels down and see if you can create a little pressure in your calves and then relax. And try that 3 times, but don't let your heels come off the ground. So your hands have to help you stay into that isometric position. And go ahead and relax. Write down right or left calf there. What one might have been tighter is 2s, it feels normal. 3, there's a little bit of pain or tightness. 1 feels super loose. Okay, half kneeling, hip flexor. I want you to pretend that you are half kneeling on a balance beam. Okay? If you need a pad, this is too much for your knees. Remember, that's why we have those. So pretend that you're on a balance beam. Your front foot is in front of your back foot. Okay? Then I just step just slightly to your right, just a little bit outside on that front leg. Tuck the back toe. We tend to want plantar flexion because this is what our foot wants to do. We want dorsiflexions because we want that big toe mobility. So anytime we can work it, we think big toe. From here, all I want you to do is just a pelvic tilt. So posterior pelvic tilt. So I want you to anterior pelvic tilt and then posterior pelvic tilt. So you're squeezing your left glute so that you feel it in this back hip flexor. From here, I'm putting my hands on my knees. Take an inhale, and then I'm going to exhale. Inhale. Exhale forward and back. Now I'm going to go to my end range where I don't feel any pain. And I'm going to start ramping up this leg into the ground. If it's too much on your knee, don't do it. We're going to start squeezing that back glute and holding here and then relaxing. Let's go ahead and switch. Left foot forward, right foot back. Posterior pelvic tilt. So my butt sticks back. I want my butt down and in. That's my posterior pelvic tilt. Squeezing that right glute. So I feel in my right hip flexor. Hands on the knees here. Inhale. Exhale as I stretch out that back hip flexor. Inhale, top. Exhale. Hold top. Find your end range. From your end range, you're going to start pressing that back leg into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then relax into it a little bit deeper. And done. Go ahead and write down for your hip flexors. All right. Figure 4 on your back. We're going to cross over one leg. You can be like this, or you can be on your back. We're going to hold either the hamstring, or we can just go like that. From here, I want to press my knee, my right knee down to create an isometric contraction in my right hip. So I want this knee to go from here to here. So I'm trying to go deeper into that external rotation while I'm here. I'm going to take 2 inhales here, 2 exhales. And then I'm going to see if I can lift my foot off of my knee and hold for 5 seconds. Okay? Here we go. And lift off and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch side. Now, if that was too hard, just don't worry about holding on. I just want you to lift off like this next time. But now I want you to try to keep that knee down and away. Press that knee out. Hold. 2 inhales, 2 exhales. Now I want you to take an inhale, and then see if you can get that foot off of the knee and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're cramping, that's a 3. Okay? Write it in there. 1, 2, 3. All right. Straddle. Feet are out. If you want to make it easier, feet are in. Make it harder, legs are out. From here, I don't want a collapsed spine. If that happens, I can go against the wall or against a box so that I stay straight. From here, I want to hinge forward, just like that 90-90. Back straight. I'm not looking for a flex spine here. Couple inhales, couple exhales. And then I'm going to activate one side. I'm going to frame the knee. And then I'm going to see if I can lift one leg up off the ground for 3 seconds. Push into the ground, inhale. And up and hold. 1, 2, 3, down. Let's try the other side. And up. 1, 2, 3, down. All right, right in there. How you felt? Next couple I'm just going to run through and show you. We have our elevated hamstring, which I probably won't have everyone do, but if you want to go back to this video and do it, you can. Or what you can do is just get into the number 4 position right now while I perform this stretch. Okay, so for the front foot supported hamstring, I want to square my hips, and then I want to rotate slightly toward that front leg. So I'm creating a closed chain capsular stretch. I'll feel it on my lateral aspect of my hamstring here. I don't want this leg out. Okay, so that's something we can do. Another time we'd probably use the bleachers. I'd probably get your legs up on there. We don't really have that ability to do that today. But I just want to show you the leg supported hamstring stretch. And then I can also turn that into an active stretch by holding here. Okay? Wall straddle, wall quad. Wall quad. Basically, dorsiflexion of the ankle, stretching my quad. Wall quad or box quad. Or wall, box, whatever you want to call it. Basically, okay, quad stretch, box. I can also use the wall. If we're on a mat doing that, more advanced, so I'm not going to do this one today, but it would be something like this. Some people don't have the shoulder mobility, or it can cause too much knee pain. That's why that blue mat's really important to have in your yoga classes or any class, but I could do that same stretch here. Could turn it into a PNF stretch by trying to extend my knee while I'm holding. So I'm trying to extend my knee, relax. Extend my knee, relax. Okay? That would be a little PNF. Cricket, deep squat. Okay, deep squat. You can get into deep squat like this if you want to with me. Come into deep squat. And then from here, to activate this stretch, I want to try to get my knees up as high as I can. And I want you to feel your hip flexors turn on by trying to get deeper into the stretch. So try and almost flex your hamstrings here. And then relax. I can also push into the ground here. Relax. Okay, I can also bring my hands together. I can go side to side. I can open up here. All right, go ahead and stand up or sit down, whatever you want to do. This one is goddess pose or cricket squat. Feet are out. And then basically just feet are out, arms are out. Okay, so this would be more of an isometric stretch for the adductors. I can bring my hands here, here, and go like this. Okay, so really challenging here in an isometric stretch. Okay, cricket or goddess. Warrior 1, 2, and 3. So 1, feet are in the same line. Foot is not angled parallel with the front of the line. It's about 10 degrees in. And my hips are forward. So getting a back hamstring, hip flexor stretch here. And then arms are straight. I want to make sure that I still have that good body. I don't want too much extend here. Okay, warrior 2, the foot goes slightly out. The arms tee out. This, you can make a kinetic stretch by going down on your exhale and inhale up. And then you have your warrior 3, which is just starting from either standing, or you can start from a warrior 1 position into a warrior 3. Okay? Let's start moving into motor control. Start with some diaphragmatic breathing. So go ahead and lay on your back. Make sure that you can bring your arms overhead on the ground. Bend your knees. Keep your back flat. See if you can get your hand underneath your back. You shouldn't be able to. Then from here, feet are in front of the knees. I want you to squeeze your glutes so that your tailbone comes off just a little bit, but not totally off the ground. So it'll look like this. So just squeeze, get in that posterior pelvic tilt with a flat back. From here, you're going to inhale, 360 into the 360 into the belly. And then you're going to take a big exhale with pierced lips out your mouth. When you exhale, your ribs should go down and in. And you're trying to make almost like saran wrap stomach on your exhale. You're going to take 3 inhales, 3 exhales here. Inhale through your nose, fill your belly, fill your sides, fill your back. Long exhale. 2 more times. Good. Now we're going to perform some floor slides. You can go ahead and sit up for this one. So the floor slides, when we talk about motor control, what we're trying to tell you is we're trying to be able to control your body without compensation. Okay? So when I raise my shoulder, I shouldn't use my spine to do that. Otherwise, I'm cheating, right? See, I can fake shoulder flexion by extending my back. If I have shoulder flexion, I shouldn't use my spine. But if I don't have shoulder flexion, what happens is you see this, right? So when we do this floor slide, you're going to see if you can not use your spine. So we're trying to disassociate the spine from the hips, or the spine from the hips, or the spine from the shoulders. So we're trying to disassociate the spine from the shoulders here. So we're going to take an inhale on the way down, and then we're going to exhale on the way up without the lower back going off the ground. As soon as you feel the lower back go off the ground, don't go any higher. So just stay in your limits to where you can control. Don't go outside the limits you can't control. That's motor control. Trying to control what you have the ability to control. So for the scap slides, you'll sit down, or you'll get in that same diaphragmatic position on your back. We're going to make a W with the shoulders. You can watch me first. Make sure that the back is flat. Curl the tailbone under. Inhale. And then I'm going to exhale. And I'm going to try to keep my elbows and wrists on the ground. If I want to squeeze my hands, that's fine. Inhale down. Exhale up. Do you feel like your wrists are going like this, or you can't even get your hands down? That means we have some shoulder tightness from external rotation. So we might have to work on that. So go ahead and try 5 slides here. So inhale down, and then exhale up. Your wrist should be on the ground, not your hands. Squeeze your fists, and your elbows should also be on the ground. So inhale down, exhale up. Go at your own pace. Inhale down, squeeze down like you're doing a lat pull down, and exhale, press overhead. All right? Now, if you have a client or a person who looks like this, or maybe you felt like this, maybe you felt like your arms couldn't get on the ground, I'll put a pad here, and then I'm going to isometrically contract my hand into that pad to create a little bit more range of motion. I'm not going to take some weight and try to put it right here in their hands and try to make it go into that position. I want to think about isometric contractions when I have limited range of motion. It's the safest way to increase range. Then eccentric, then concentric. All right. So with that floor slide, write down 3, 2, 1 for your right and left side. Did you feel like you were a little tighter on your right shoulder? Did you feel like you were tighter on that left shoulder? Were they about the same? If everything felt normal, like you didn't really feel anything, maybe that's a 2. If you felt real tightness on one side, that would be a 3. If you felt like everything felt super loose, it would be a 3. If it felt super tight, it would be a 1. So we're going to perform a leg lower without the band. You can do it with or without a band. Typically, we want beginners to use a band, but I don't have 30 bands for everybody right now. So what we'll do when I say to is, 1, are we able to get 90 degrees without extending our back? So again, I'm going to lay on my back, tuck my pelvis under, back is flat, 1 leg up, 1 leg down. Is my bottom knee bent? I want to know. Don't let that foot go out. That's on the bottom. Keep that toe up. From here, supported leg lower, I would hold. Inhale up. Exhale down with my back flat. Okay? Unsupported, my hands are here. Same thing. Inhale. Big exhale on the way down. Control. Inhale up. Exhale hard, forcefully, with control. Inhale up. Okay? Make sure both legs are in dorsiflexion. They don't go out. Make sure your back is flat. Don't let your back extend. So go ahead and lay on your back. 1 leg up, 1 leg down. Let's try to support it first. Hand underneath the hamstring. Keep your back flat. Other leg, I want close in together. Close in. Get those legs in so that they're not going out. Exhale on the way down. Inhale up. Let's get 3 on each side. And then switch sides. The leg that we're holding is what we're looking for tightness with compared to the other side. So again, 3 on each side. You're seeing if that knee can be straight, and you're making sure that your back doesn't go off the ground. Now I want you to try unsupported. So tee out those arms, palms face down, push into the ground, hold that leg lift, exhale down, but I don't want that top leg to move at all. So that top leg doesn't move. Try 3 on each side. Okay. Go ahead right in there. What hamstring may have been a little bit tighter? Okay, quadruped hip extension. This one is best when we have a pad. But what we're going to do is go to the hands and knees. Then I'm going to float one leg off the ground. And then in this path, I'm going to go into hip extension. I don't want to open my leg up. Keep my knee down. Dorsiflex that back ankle. I should pretend there's 2 walls next to my knee. It can't go to either side. It's got to stay within that wall. So if I go like this, I can't control hip extension. If I go like this and I can't even control this stability, I don't have the core strength to even do this position. So we're looking at core stability and the ability to extend the hip without extending low spine or lumbar spine. So I don't want to see this. Okay? I want my back neutral. One leg goes up, slowly go up, and then down. 3 reps on each side without extending your spine and doing as controlled as you can. Hands as wide as shoulders, knees as wide as hips, feet behind the knees. Neutral spine. So I want you to know flexion, extension, get right in the middle first. And then try 3 reps on each side. But don't let that knee go out. I see a lot of knees going out. Try not to. Keep going. So we're using this a lot here. Try not to move that. Okay? You can make it a little bit more strict by going into that collapse position and then doing it. Why don't you try 1 on each side in the collapse position? But I want you to go more like this. So a little bit tougher. And this is taking your low spine out of the equation so that you can't cheat. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and look at diagonal reach. Go ahead and put a 1, 2, 3, how much control you thought you had. So 3 is you felt like you had a lot of control. 1 is you feel like you're lots of compensations. And 2 kind of felt right in the middle. So if you felt like you're going like this, or you felt unstable, that's probably a 1 or 2. Diagonal reach, sunbird, dog, bird, sunbird, whatever you want to call it. There's bird, dog, sunbird, diagonal reach. So we're in that hands and knees position, and then we're trying to reach without, again, using my spine to do that work. So I want a neutral spine, and then from here, I'm lifting the ground without rotating my body, rotary stability, and then I'm reaching and holding in a straight line without using my back and spine. I'm going to try 5-second hold on each side. So let's try diagonal reach. When we have our right arm forward, that'll be our right side. When we have our left arm forward, that'll be our left side. So go ahead, right arm forward, left leg back without moving your spine. Hold for 3 seconds once you get there. I don't want the leg higher than your hips. I want your foot in line with your hips and head. Everything should look like a straight line. Good. Go ahead, right up for your diagonal reach. Okay. We'll look at a couple more before we go to dynamic warm-up. So, bilateral hip lift is a glute activator and core stabilizer. So we're going to go onto our backs. For this one, I'm going to have my toes up, arms are out. Focus on just extending my glutes, not my spine. So I'm not trying to arch my back like this and put my pressure on my shoulders and pressure on my low spine. I don't want that. I want my toes up. Squeeze the glutes, hold. Long exhale. 5-second to 10-second hold, and then back down. And we're going for 3 reps. Don't let those knees cave in. If the knees cave in, you might want to get a Pilates ring or a mat to put in between the knees to squeeze. Don't let those knees cave in too much. Really, you can put your hands on your glutes to know that your glutes are on. That sometimes helps our clients. Next is going to be our cook hip lift. So same thing, arms are out, toes are up. I'm going to pull this to the chest, up, hold, slowly bring it down, up, hold, slowly bring it down. I'm going to pull this first, then I'm going to tee it out. I want to keep this up high, so I want to make it a combo of both right hip flexion and right hip extension, left hip flexion. I can press my hand into this knee for advanced and do the same thing. So pressing the knee into the hand, hand to the knee for level 3. So go ahead and try. Keep the knee bent totally. Knee is totally bent. You're trying to drive that knee to the chest while you're up. Hold 5 seconds each side. Toes are up. Squeeze those glutes. Good. Toes are up, toes are up. Both toes, even the one on the ground. Just do about 5-second hold, 2 reps on each side. Right how your control was. Last one is our bear position, hands and knees. We're going to bring the knees off the ground just an inch so that you feel it in your core. Then from here, without rotating my spine, I'm going to tap the shoulder. So I'm going to lift up an inch. I'm going to try to tap without going like this. So I have to almost think, how can I create enough stabilization so that my body doesn't turn? Or how do I turn into that so that my body counter rotates? So go ahead and try 4 taps on each side. Too much on the wrist? Don't worry about this one. Try not to rotate. Don't rotate. Feet a little wider. Don't rotate. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and write in a number. And let's push our mats beyond this point or you can go ahead and put up your mats because we're done with the mats. When you're ready, let's get all the papers, all the cones, everything out of the way. Let's go ahead and stack your cones right here. Let's put the balls in the bag. What's that? Yeah, you can go anywhere you want, anytime you want. Quickly. Grab your cone, grab your stuff. Let's get it all out of the way. You can put your cones over there. Tennis balls in the bag. Right over there, that cone. Come on, come on. Grab some water if you need it. Mm-hmm. All right, everything off the courts. Put your papers back, balls back, cones back. I want everyone lined up in between these two cones right here when you're ready. So everyone lined up in between these two cones on the dark blue line facing the inside of the court. Make sure our cones, balls, bags, water is off the court. We got about 10 minutes here. Spread out. Make sure you have a couple of feet in between you. Hip extension, leg lower, diaphragmatic breathing, slides, and diagonal reach. All right, so first thing we can do after we stretch, after we perform our stretching and our motor control, now it's time to combine all of those joints to create dynamic movement preparation. Can we grab that ball out of the way, please? And the cone, please. Sorry. So we can do this in a stationary position. We can also do this while we're going across. So let's just make two lines. So one line behind this group. Yep. Yeah, we'll have one line on the blue line, one line on that line behind them, this line here, right here. Once the first group gets to the middle cone, the next group can go. So I need a group on the big blue line. Yeah, just to give us some more space. Perfect. The first thing we're going to do is a split squat. So the first thing is bring 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, hands at the hips. Option 1, stay right here. Let's go, let's see it. Option 1, right here. Option 2 is just down and up like an elevator. Not forward, straight down and up. Okay, let's switch. Again, don't do it if it causes pain. Option 1, hold. Option 2, straight down, straight up. Okay, that's your split squat, toe touch squat, feet are about shoulder width distance, arms are overhead, reach down, touch my toes, butt's in the air, squat down, hands together, hands on the toes, hips up, stand up. Touch toes, squat down, hands together, hands on the toes, hips up, stand up. To make it a little harder, option 2, toes, squat, hands, you can do it. Arms overhead here, stand up. Okay, so that makes it a little bit tougher. Lateral squat, feet are about 4 to 3 feet apart. I'm going to sink into your left, my right, while I reach forward, not out. So I'm going to reach forward and then stand up. One leg, no bend. One leg, all bend. Okay, let's try 2 on each side. So this is our lateral squat. Okay. Bear crawl, hands and knees. With that same mentality, knees off the ground an inch. I'm going to go, not yet, don't go yet. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. When I say go, not yet. Okay, and try to go opposite arm, opposite leg. Try to land at the same time. All right, here we go. Up and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2, 3, 4, and down. All right. Knee to chest, stand up. Once the first group gets to the middle cone, the next group will go. Okay? We'll try to stay on our same line, so you'll just go behind them when you're done, okay? So this line, we're going to do knee to chest first. Knee to chest is not chest to knee, it's knee to chest. My bottom foot, plantar flexion. We go 3 on each side. Actually, don't worry, you can probably all go at the same time for this one. We're going to go 3 on each side until we get to the other side. So once you've done 3, just jog to the next line, all right? So let's do knee to chest. Try to keep your back straight. Ready? And go. Plantar flexion, bottom foot. Extend that bottom knee. Once you've got 3 on each side, jog to the line or walk to the line. Good job. Leg cradle. Knee to chest. Hold onto the knee. Underneath and around the foot. Pull up, just like a standing pigeon. You need foot, big toe down for balance. And keep that arch of that foot. You can do these standing or moving forward. Let's try 2 on each side, and then we'll jog to the ended line. Ready? Go. If it's too much on your knee, you can just go back to that knee hug. Straight leg walk. Okay? We're going to go 5 on each side, or just reach if you can't touch with your back straight. Try not to go like this. So, 5 on each side. Ready? And go. All right, go ahead. Let's all go. Heel to butt. Reach. You can do this in place to practice. Reach with opposite. I want to step into my next movement. Okay, so I'm getting that hamstring, glute, shoulder. Now if that's too much, I just want you to just feel the butt. Okay, let's get 2 on each side, then jog to the end line. Ready, go. Just 2. All right. This one we can do in place to start. When I say go, the front line's going to go. When you get to the middle, the next line's going to go. So this one is just a march. So we want our arms very active. Pretend that you are hammering in something behind you. Okay, I want those knees working fast. So let's just start with a stationary march. Go ahead. Back straight. Stop. Now we're going to add in our skip. You can march if you can't skip. That's fine. We're going to skip forward. So it's going to start with our march. And then when I say go, we're going to skip all the way to the next line. Once we get to the middle, the next group will go. Ready? Go. Next group, go. Good. Step, hop, step, hop, step, hop. Next is high knee run. So we're going to high knee run on the way down. We're not going to demonstrate it first because it takes a lot of energy. So it's going to be really moving those legs up high. If this is too much, you can march or you can just jog down. It's a high knee run. Now we are activated. We've done our mobility. We've done our motor control. We're about to do power. So now we have to do explosive dynamic warm-up. So high knee run. Ready? Go. Go. Good. One thing with high knee run I don't want to see is this. Because you're not using your arms when we do that. So use your arms. Okay, you can do a high knee skip. We won't worry about that one today. We didn't really get into the agility letters today. And 2 other things we can do is our back pedal and backwards run. Back pedal is wide feet low. Back run is narrow feet staggered. Okay. We have our 1, 2. You can do this one with me. Let's go 1. Opposite arm. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then try to hold that position. Let's do 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3. Ready? Hold up. Go. 1, 2, hold. Go for 3 now. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay. Okay, you can slide left, slide right. 1, 2, stick. So let's pretend we're using an agility ladder. 1, 2, stick. Try not to go on the outside of that foot. You want that arch. 1, 2, stick. In and out. Pretending I have a ladder. Cross behind. Cross in front. I can use cross behind to be this. A little tougher. Using a ladder. So, and then the other one would be scissors. In front scissors and behind scissors. Okay? Those are all dynamic warm-ups that you can prepare for before power, before strength, and before conditioning. All right? I have on the back here, it says, write the cues for the following exercises after class. So if you remember those cues, write them in. On the last sheet of paper, it has some student reflections using the cognitive affective domains. Try to answer these questions before lecture on Wednesday. We're going to go over these questions on Wednesday. So answer these questions before lecture on Wednesday, and that's going to be it for today. Okay? We'll see everybody Wednesday. Grab some water.